Hi, Wayman of the 514th. Welcome to Wellness 52, March 2021 edition, brought to you by 514th Airmen and Family Readiness. My name is Master Sergeant Rosa. This month, we're going to talk about the pandemic and mental health. It's been about a year since things got really bad. We had those initial lockdowns, and we're going to talk today about the impact of the pandemic on our mental health. Sickness, death, economic hardship, the lack of social interaction, all of these things are negatively affecting our mental health. Just know that you're not alone. Everyone is impacted across our country and around the world. I want to talk about how all these things are leading to increased stress, feelings of isolation and loneliness, negative self-talk, etc. Let's get started. As I mentioned, we're going to discuss the impact of the pandemic on mental health, symptoms of stress, how to cope with it, loneliness, how to cope with it, negative self-talk, focusing on what you can control, not focusing on what you can't control, and maintaining hope in these uncertain times. Okay, just right off the bat, if you look at these charts, the impact of COVID-19 on mental health is severe. And actually, just recently, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention did a survey and found that 63% of 18 to 24-year-olds report symptoms of anxiety or depression, and 25% of those people recorded increased substance use to deal with that stress. And quite startlingly, 25% said that they'd seriously consider suicide. And just another survey by Chapman University, not only are we feeling more stress, but it's leading to unhealthy eating habits, distractions, feelings of being trapped at home, anxiety, nervousness, being on edge. And very few of us have a optimistic outlook on what's going to happen next. Symptoms of stress: feeling irritation, anger, or denial, feeling uncertain, nervous, or anxious, lacking motivation, feeling tired, overwhelmed, or burnt out, feeling sad or depressed, having trouble sleeping, having trouble concentrating. As I mentioned, remember, it's normal to feel sad, distressed, worried, confused, scared, or angry during this crisis. Talk to people you trust, build connections, maintain those connections with your friends and family. Stay at home. While you're at home, maintain a healthy lifestyle. Make sure you're getting plenty of sunshine. Make sure you're getting outside. Make sure you're eating healthy. Keep in touch with your family and friends. Don't use vices like cigarettes, alcohol, or other things like drugs to cope with your emotions. It's just going to make things worse. If you're feeling overwhelmed, there's plenty of resources out there, and we're going to mention them later. How to cope with stress. It's really important to follow a daily routine. And I apologize, this presentation probably comes a little late. But as we moved towards this new normal where remote working and working from home is probably going to become is going to kind of be an increase. There's going to be an increase to that as we go on past the pandemic. Make sure you follow a daily routine. That means coming up with a structured plan for each day with clear boundaries between your working and private life. That'll give you a sense of control amid all the uncertainty. Try to divide your day into small activities and make sure you build in time to do things you enjoy, like pursuing your hobbies, exercising, spending time with your kids. Set a daily routine for work as well. Take regular breaks. Leave your desk for lunch. Have a fixed time to turn off and zone out. And also, always remember to make sure you're getting enough sleep and eating healthy. Get outside. Try to spend time in nature. Numerous studies show that has a positive effect on mental health. Even just 20 minutes a day, getting outside helps lower your stress hormone levels. So consider taking a stroll in the park during lunch or after work. Spend time in nature. That contributes to your physical well-being. It reduces your blood pressure, heart rate, muscle tension, and stress hormones. It also gives you a boost of vitamin D when you're outside in the sun. Exercise, of course. Physical activity does wonders for your mental health, especially if you're feeling stressed. The World Health Organization recommends 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity or 75 minutes of vigorous, intense physical activity per week. And that's really easy. That's just 15 minutes a day. Take short breaks throughout the day. Make sure you're getting up. Make sure you're not sitting all day at your desk. And then when you have your leisure time, make sure you're doing also intellectually stimulating activities as well, like reading, playing board games or puzzles. We talked about intellectual growth and stimulation a few months ago. If you're interested in seeing that presentation, it's available on YouTube at 514 Airman and Family Readiness account. Maintain your balance. Maintain balance. I'm sorry, I missed. I'm sorry, I missed a few things here. Um, Use controlled breathing. When you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, your body goes into a fight or flight response, and that state aims to help us respond to a dangerous situation. The problem is, if you allow your body to remain stressed for long periods, that suppresses our digestive and immune systems and can take a toll on our health. That's why it's good to use controlled breathing to reverse this process. By slowing down your breathing and regulating oxygen intake, you can calm down your stress levels. Count to 5. Inhale 5 seconds, exhale 5 seconds. Limit social media. This is another thing we talked about a few months ago. It's a great way to connect with others, but it also can amplify anxiety and stress because there's a constant flow of worrisome, sometimes misinformation. You're always seeing the good news of your friends or followers. They're not showing you the behind the scenes. Consider turning off push notifications so you're not constantly bombarded. Consider taking a break from social media. Unfollow or mute accounts which are triggering you. Um, it's really a good idea to block these things out if it's causing. You should recognize the triggers. If it's not adding to your life, turn them off. You don't need them. Connect with others. Without social interactions, it's been really hard to connect with others. We're not working in the office most of us are working remotely, and it feels very lonely and isolating. So it's important to make time to reach out and connect with others. It's very important for our mental health. Socializing decreases stress and anxiety. It supports calm and happy feelings. When we talk to someone, we share our emotions and experiences. We provide or receive our support, which makes us feel connected. And when we socialize and have physical proximity to others, we reduce our cortisol levels, so stress levels. Simply sharing concerns with a loved one can help us make us feel better. Talking to a friend or family member can be a helpful way to keep your stress levels under control. Plan at least one connection per day, a phone call, chat with a colleague, a friend, family member, someone to share experiences with. It's a great source of support during these crazy times. Maintain balance. Letting your work life take over your personal life can have a massive impact on your mental health. Make sure you set clear boundaries between working and private life for you as well as your colleagues if you're in a management position. It can be hard to feel like you really left work when your living space has become your office. Therefore, set fixed times for the end of each workday. Put away visual reminders like your laptop, work papers. Turn off work-related notifications after working hours. Get outside for a walk and switch off with relaxing activities and hobbies. Physically disconnecting from your workspace allows yourself the time to relax and recuperate after a day's work, which will benefit your stress levels and help you be more productive in the long term. Another startling graphic. Before COVID-19, 20.7% of people struggled with feelings of loneliness. During COVID-19, 58.1% of people felt somewhat or much lonelier than before, which is an 181% increase. It's important to realize that you're not alone. Many of us are feeling lonely and isolated. So know that you're not alone. These feelings are normal. What is loneliness? It's really complex. It's unique to each individual, but it's generally described as the feeling we get when our need for rewarding social contact and relationships is not met. It's not always the same as being alone. You can feel peaceful and content being alone, and you can feel lonely in a crowd full of people. You may have lots of social contact, be in a relationship, or part of a family and still feel lonely if you don't feel understood or cared for by the people around you. It's the quality, not the quantity of connections you have. Feeling lonely has a negative impact on mental health, leading to depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, sleep problems, and stress. Again, you're not alone. Even the people who look like they're doing fine, where they're posting about Zoom game nights all the time, have a partner that they live with, or seem constantly busy with fun hobbies, they struggle. Believe me, they struggle. Most of us know that social media isn't a complete, accurate portrayal of reality. But during the pandemic, it may feel even more consuming. Many people are spending more time on social media than ever before, and all that scrolling combined with less in person socializing can make it seem like social media does give you the full picture, but simply it does not. It can be a great way to stay in touch and up to date on your friends' lives, especially if they don't live close by. But remember, you're only seeing the parts they want to share with you and their followers. People can't read your mind. When you're feeling low, it's probably obvious to you. You're the one living it, right? But you can't expect people to know how you're doing if you don't tell them. When you're feeling depressed or anxious, it can be really hard to reach out to people, even just to say hi. Maybe typing up a text takes too much energy, or you feel like you don't have anything to say, or you're worried about bothering people with your problems. Then, before you even realize it, you barely talk to your friends or family all week. When this happens, it's easy to get even more upset and fall into some common thinking traps. Why didn't they reach out? It's I'm obviously not okay. Does no one care? Think about it this way. What if one of your friends suddenly got distant from you? You would probably assume that they have a lot going on, don't have much time to talk, or that you did something wrong and now they're mad at you. Right now, they might be thinking the same thing, that you're too busy or you don't want to hear from them. It's easy to do, but sometimes the only way you can get what you want or need is by asking for it. I'm sorry, it's not easy to do, but sometimes the only way you can get what you want or need is by asking for it. Let go of resentment. It's completely normal to feel hurt when friends don't reach out to you or fully show up when you're struggling, especially if you have been supportive to them. It may make you not want to reach out at all, but give them some grace. It's far from a normal time in life, and most people are pretty distracted with their own feelings. If you want to talk to them, don't hold a grudge or play hard to get because you feel like they haven't been the greatest friend recently. When you're up for texting them or reaching out, do it. What you say is up to you. You can tell them that you're having a hard time, ask how they're doing, or just send something funny. You'll most likely feel better about your friendship and a little less lonely in general once you reconnect with them. It may be hard for others to support you when they're struggling too. The pandemic has been hard on everyone for one reason or another. Sometimes it's helpful to be going through the same thing as others. You can understand how they're feeling and what's worked for you. But after almost a year of COVID-19 stress, most people are exhausted. Everyone is just trying to get through this until things are better and close to being normal again, whatever that is. And most people probably don't have the mental energy to support you right now. It doesn't mean they don't care. It just means that they need to take care of themselves first. Almost everyone needs more support right now. Not now. Um, Most people need more support than people are able to give. You might not feel up for being someone else's rock right now either, and that's okay. It has nothing to do with them, just like your friend not being able to support you has nothing to do with you. Try reaching out to other friends that you may not be as close with. It's common to only rely on one or two people for emotional support, but this might be a chance for you to connect on a deeper level with someone new. You might be surprised by who else is feeling down and wants to talk. Of course, therapy, virtual support groups are other useful tools you can use, and we're going to mention a lot of these later in the presentation. How to cope with loneliness continued. Keep to a schedule, as mentioned. Even if you're isolated at home, try to keep to a regular schedule as much as possible. Loneliness can feel like it'll never end. Trying to make those days feel as normal as possible will help you get through. Start each day with a plan of things that you will do. Keep a diary about how you're feeling and what you're doing. Keep a symptom log if you're managing illness. All of these tracking systems will help you feel like you're being proactive about the situation. Stay active. It's easy to focus exclusively on how to manage your mental health and loneliness during the crisis. We sometimes forget that our physical and mental health are delicately intertwined. If you spend weeks of isolation not getting exercise, this will have a detrimental effect on your ability to cope mentally. Below are so some of the things you can do are, you know, exercise. If you don't want to go to the gym because of the risks, you can practice at home workouts. There's a lot of free videos online. If not, reach out to us at Wellness52. Um, Also, do something meaningful because a lot of times loneliness can stem from a loss of sense of meaning. So if you're finding that you feel not just bored but also as though you're losing your sense of self, then a loss of meaning might be affecting you. All of us want to feel like we belong and that our life has importance, which is why incorporating meaningful activities, sorry, why incorporating meaningful activities, it's important to incorporate meaningful activities. Do something meaningful each day, even if it's for a short period of time. This will help give you a sense of purpose and identity. Uh, um, some of the things you can do is sign up for an online course, create a family tree, sign up to be an online volunteer. All of these things will give you meaning and purpose. Create something. Creativity is really amazing. It does wonders because it allows you to express yourself, whether that involves painting, writing, dancing. It can help you channel your feelings into creating something that's really just therapeutic. Uh, it's also good to plan for the future. So it might feel like loneliness will last forever, but there will come a time that you'll be back to your usual routines. So one way you can feel less alone is to make plans for the future, do things that will help you focus on the future. You make a future list of all the things you want to do. You can order online and plant some spring bulbs. You can plan a fun event for when we get out of isolation. You can make a bucket list of things you want to do in your lifetime. Make a goals list. Practice self-compassion. Find ways to accept your feelings as they come and go. Instead of resisting these feelings, find ways to accept them as they come and go. This helps take away their power and ease your unhappiness. Remember that your feelings will change. Show compassion to others. It might be counterintuitive, but if you're struggling yourself, sometimes offering help to others who are feeling lonely can help make you feel less lonely. Make a phone call, send a text, send a handwritten letter. Be supportive and offer words of encouragement. Negative self-talk. We all do it from one time or another. What is negative self-talk? It's when we talk to ourselves in our heads, it's our inner dialogue, and sometimes that voice can be pretty harsh. It judges you, it doubts you, it picks out all your flaws that no one else would even notice. Negative self-talk is exactly what it sounds like, talking to yourself in a negative or mean way. We often tell ourselves things that we would never say to a friend, like my hair looks stupid, I can't do anything right, no one likes me, but it's actually pretty common. The human brain reacts more intensely to negative events than to positive ones and is more likely to remember insults than praise. It's just how we're wired. It may not seem like that big of a deal, but everything you say to yourself matters. Putting yourself down chips away from your self-esteem, and left unchecked, those thoughts can become even more ingrained and contribute to mental health challenges like depression and anxiety. It's good to take a break from the news, whether it's the pandemic, natural disasters, racism. Every day we're bombarded with negative news headlines. Practice the rule of three good things. At the end of each day, reflect on three good things that happened. They can be large or small. Focus on what you can control, not what you can't control. Uh, the more time and energy we're spending on things that we can't control, is less time and energy we're spending on the ways in which we can make a difference. You cannot control if others follow the rules of social distancing, the actions of others, predicting what will happen, others people's motives, how others will react, how long this pandemic will last, the amount of toilet paper at the store. What you can control is your attitude, your actions, your effort, your kindness and grace. This quadrant shows you 4 different areas, and quadrant 1, the upper left boundary, is wasting energy. First thing you should do is ask yourself 3 questions. What is worrying me? What is within my control? What matters most to me, and what can I do about it? When you focus, so quadrant 1 is wasting your energy. When you focus on what is not within your control, you're wasting your energy on factors that will not move you forward. This is like having a 2-week vacation booked, which was canceled due to the pandemic. You can complain all you want, but what's the use? Stop draining your energy on it and start thinking clearly. Quadrant number 2, lower left-hand corner. You're focusing on what you cannot control. You're ignoring what is not within your control, and you're being paranoid. You shouldn't ignore external factors. Instead, accept what is and be aware of the external conditions that are outside your control. For instance, with this pandemic, it's important we maintain an understanding of the situation and how it progresses because its advancements have implementations on our life. We don't want to give the matter our undivided attention, but we do want to stay educated on it. It's important to know what's going on with the vaccine rollout, with the opening up, wasting opportunities. When you ignore what is within your control, you're flat out wasting opportunities. You're being unreasonable. You cannot control the weather, the laws, the economy, but you can control your attitude, how you choose to spend your time, and who you choose to hang out with. Stop being wasteful and start using your time wisely for creations of productivity. Quadrant number 4, that's the happy quadrant or the sunshine state of mind. When you focus on what is within your control, you are in the driver's seat. You're being intentional about your attitude and how you spend your energy. This is where you are being emotionally mature and thinking rationally and clearly in a sunshine state of mind. And what does it do? It keeps you positive, energized, and motivated. Again, just to reemphasize, there's a lot of variables in your life and you can't control many of them. Focus on what you can control and watch your life change. It's not a cliche, it's the truth. Attitude, first and foremost. Choose to be positive. No negative self talk. Positivity is contagious. Positivity makes you worth interacting with each day. Be someone that other people look forward to seeing each day. I challenge you to try and be the most enthusiastic person you know. Count your blessings and practice gratitude and appreciation. See how much this impacts those around you in a positive way. Number 2, effort. Work hard. Your work ethic doesn't form overnight. It takes years and years of honing your skills and grinding until you reach your goals. You get to those goals by putting in the work, by sitting at the desk and working hard. Actions. Align your actions with your long-term value and beliefs. Go out of your way to be kind to those around you. Open a door, give a compliment, ask someone how they're doing, genuinely listen to their answer. Take someone out to lunch. You'll be amazed at how these acts of kindness will transform your life. So again, within our control, our own opinions, attitudes, aspirations, dreams, desires, and goals. We control how we spend our time, what books we read, how productive we are, what we eat, and who we choose to spend time with. Outside our control is everything else. How life's events unfold, the weather, the economy, other people. Trying to control or change what isn't within your control will only drain your energy and leave you in torment. What you can control is how you perceive a situation, how you react to it, and how you respond. Maintaining hope in the face of uncertainty, which is more important now than ever. Now, there's a lot going on today. And all of these things can have a direct impact on our lives. It's easy to feel like we're always waiting for the next bad thing to happen. Can't do that though. Got to maintain positivity and optimism because dread and anxiety can be overwhelming and make everything seem hopeless. When we find ourselves in difficult circumstances, it usually takes a while for things to settle back down to what they're used to. And COVID-19 is more than just a bump on the road. It's life-changing, and it will continue for a while longer, unfortunately. So if we try to stick to our old routine expectations, we'll continue to feel as though we're just waiting for time to pass before continuing on with our lives. It's tough to shake that feeling that this is all temporary, but accepting our new normal and adapting to it is the best way to take back some control when it feels like so many things are up in the air. It's completely normal to be discouraged by everything that's going on. If you're grieving, if you're anxious, overwhelmed, feeling paralyzed, that's okay. Give yourself the time to process those feelings and remind yourself that there's always hope for better days. If you're having a hard time finding hope, here's some things you can do. What are you hopeful for? I'm sorry, let's go back. What are you hopeful for? If you want to see change, do something about it. If you want to see people in your community support one another, get involved with groups doing mutual aid work. If you want to see political change, donate to organizations doing on-the-ground work or volunteer yourself in a way that still allows you to feel safe. Remind yourself that it's not forever. When life gets hard, it can be easy to forget that things will get better eventually. It may not happen as quickly as you'd like, but look at history. Past outbreaks have been contained. We now have standard vaccines for diseases that took out many lives. Economic recessions come and go. It's just the way of life. It doesn't mean that current events won't cause destruction, but it will stop or become better controlled eventually. Look ahead to post-pandemic times. Think about what you're looking forward to or things you want to do once the pandemic is under control. Make a list and start to plan. Where do you want to go on vacation? Do you want to visit a friend across the country? Start saving for a plane ticket and research fun things to do where they live. If you miss your extended family, think about getting a lunch or a family reunion picnic. Control what you can. Again, so important. Big part of feeling hopeless is feeling like everything is out of your control. Remind yourself what you can control, um, like your morning routine, what time you go to bed, what you eat, who you keep in touch with. Things might seem too minor to make an impact, but being consistent with little things can make a difference over time. Turn to faith and spirituality. If you're religious or spiritual, you may find hope in your faith. Many people feel that religion gives them a greater sense of purpose and is helpful to lean on during tough times. Look to your faith's teachings for some peace and optimism that resonates with you or connect with others in your faith community. Combat your negative thoughts. Our thoughts are directly connected to our feelings. If you're dealing with unpleasant emotions, try to identify the specific thoughts relate to how you're feeling. Once you notice those negative thoughts, you can begin to work to replace them with more positive ones. Make time for fun. So I want to make sure you're experiencing happy moments. Don't feel guilty about spending time on things you love, whether it's art, talking to friends, or having a fun Netflix night. Keep up with basic self-care. It can be tough to find hope in times like these, but it's especially hard if you aren't taking care of yourself. Make sure you're eating well, staying hydrated, getting enough sleep, and moving your body regularly. It may not seem like much, but just like with controlling the things you can, little things add up. When the dark clouds of doubt, anger, or worry begin to move upon you, steady yourself in the knowledge that in time the storm will pass. Here are some very useful free tools. Mood Hacker was developed by Military OneSource. It's a resiliency tool that helps you track, understand, and improve how you're feeling. Mindshift teaches relaxation techniques, helps treat anxiety. Talkspace allows users to connect with certified therapists. Calm offers guided meditation to help you relax and fall asleep easier. Here are some great resources as well. Military OneSource of Core offers free counseling, support, and resources. Warmline.org is a really interesting organization where they have a peer-run listening line staffed by people in recovery themselves. So people with mental health issues run this free conversation line. 7cups.com is a free anonymous and confidential conversations with trained active listeners, kind of similar to Warmline. Open Path Collective is great. It's affordable therapy for people who are low income or don't have insurance. MyDepressionTeam.com is a social network for those living with depression. Help Yourself, Help Others is an online assessment tool. NAMI.org is a great free support and education website for families and individuals seeking help for a wide range of mental illness, as well as AFSP.org, which is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And To Write Love on Her Arms is a great nonprofit movement dedicated to presenting hope and finding help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. That wraps up this month's presentation on the pandemic and mental health. Please fill out a brief survey at surveymonkey.com to help us understand what we can do better next time. PowerPoint slides are available on Google Drive, as well as this presentation and all the previous presentations. Wellness 52 presentations are available on YouTube. Contact me at derosa.usaf anytime for questions regarding this presentation or anything else we've discussed. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the UTA and a great month ahead. See you next time.